YouTube. This comment or video is in response to a comment I got from Harley Hiller about what's it like being with a trainer, like cooped up, you know, with a trainer. I've been asked the question a couple times, and it was a big question that I had, you know, when I was looking into the whole thing. And honestly, it sucks. It sucks. Like I think I said in another video, if I didn't, I'll say it right now. It's like you have a ball and chain. Like you're not. There's no privacy really, you know. Like it sucks. I mean, it's if you've had roommates, it's like that. Except everybody shares a room, a kitchen, a closet. Like everybody shares everything. You do all your living in like a walk-in closet. It sucks. I mean, there's not really any way you can get around it, avoid it. You know, it's something that you got to do, a necessary evil. But yeah, it really sucks. Like I don't like hate my trainer. Like he does a lot of things that annoy me, and that I'm not. Without getting into a whole big rant or anything like that, you know, I don't hate the guy. You know, I can get along with people for the most part pretty well, but when you're with somebody for so long, it sucks, man. I think you might get a trainer that's like that you can be really, really good friends with, but even then, I mean, I guess it depends on the person, really, on you the person. For me, I like my privacy. I like to be by myself. I like to be alone. Like that's, for the most part, that's really what I enjoy. I guess I don't know the words I'm looking for, but I'm really a lone wolf. You know what I'm saying? I spent, my last house I was with two other guys that I had known since elementary school and junior high. So, these people that I knew a long time, good friends with and everything. I got tired of them. I spent a lot of time in my room. Like, that's just me. I like to be by myself. In this training, you don't get that. You don't get that privacy. You don't get that alone time. Except for when you take a dump, or go walk around. There's not really crap going on here. Just a bunch of trucks. But there's a little picnic area here for the smokers or whatever. So I walk around and sit out here. But even with somebody you're like a really good friend with, you're still gonna the small things that wear you out. There's so many factors. It could be the way they talk. Not a big deal, but when you hear them talk all day, it wears you out. Or like my trainer listens to Fox News. That shit drives me insane. Fuck Fox News. Fuck all those people. Like, fuck mass media in general, but Fox? And as a side note, like, Fox News is on everywhere in the trucking world. Every truck stop, all this shit, so you just kind of bite your tongue. It is what it is. Opinions or whatever. So, if you don't have a problem with that, it's you'll find something to be annoyed with, or whatever. It's like small things will just start pissing you off. You just gotta like put stuff like that to the side. I mean, like for me, like everything that bothers me is just all nonsense. It's nothing that's really going to affect anything. It's just stuff that little pet peeves. Like, he doesn't throw his trash away. There's a trash can like 2 feet away. All I got to do is reach over and drop it in the trash can. He'll just drop it on the floor and leave it. And then I'm trying to crawl to the back. I got to climb all over it and shit. You know, stuff like that. Again, everybody's going to be different. It could be, you know, a whole other host of reasons. You know, they could be hardcore religious and always be talking about that, or my trainer talks a lot about his home life. Like, I don't give a shit about your home life. You know, I'm here to get my training, to get my license. That's all I give a shit about. Like, I don't fucking care about what you, your family, or anything like that. I don't care. But he'll ramble on and on and on about it. You know, not the end of the world, nothing that's gonna hurt me, nothing, you know, like that. It's just something you gotta deal with. You know, being in a tight space with somebody like that sucks. I mean, if you're a real, like, talkative, friendly, outgoing type person like that, then maybe it's not that big of a deal. But for me, it's fucking nightmare. But like I said, it's a necessary evil. You can't get to where you want to be in truck driving without it. You know, so really, I think when you're going in, you got to hope for the best. You know, pray about it if that's, you know, your thing. Meditate on it. Just hope you get somebody you can stand. You know, you never know who you're gonna run into. You know, I've heard horror stories about people and their trainers. I don't remember where I heard this, but I won't even talk about the company. But one of the trainers was sitting in the back of the cab while his student was driving, and he was smoking weed, and obviously got fired. You know, I've seen videos of a trainer texting while they're driving. You know, there's a lot of interesting characters in truck driving in general, and I'm sure, you know, a handful of them are training. So, you know, hope for the best. Hope that you're not in a situation with somebody that's going to put you in danger. Hope that you're going to get somebody that trains you. You know, mine doesn't really teach or anything. It's kind of me figuring out myself, which I'm getting, you know, and I think I'll be all right, you know, once I get to that point. But yeah, I mean, there's going to be small things that are going to really, really bother you that you can't really do anything about. Just small little deals that are not really important in the grand scheme of things, but when you live with somebody in that tight of space for so long, it wears on you, you know. So I brought my iPod, and if y'all watch my early videos, I was complaining about how to fit, you know, my 6,000 whatever songs on iTunes onto my small iPod that only holds like 1,000 songs. About half the songs I put on there I have no desire to listen to, and there's a whole crap load of songs that I want to listen to that I don't have. So that sucks. It is what it is. But back to what I was saying, I use music, you know, when I'm getting annoyed and frustrated or whatever, I'll put the headphones on, you know, and zone out that way. You know, that's kind of a way to get privacy, I guess, to some degree. You know, music for me is a savior. You know, it takes me to a whole nother place. Another thing you got to think about is, at some point your training is going to end, and when it ends, you're going to be by yourself. So even with all those things that annoy you about that trainer, one thing they are there for is to answer questions. So once you're out on your own, you have nobody to ask those questions for, so you got to figure it out. You know, so think about that. You know, in the grand scheme of things, you know, at some point you're going to be wishing that you still had that trainer. I mean, obviously, if it was a nightmare of a trainer, you probably wouldn't. But But you know, overall, you know, at some point you're gonna need a trainer, or need somebody, and you're not gonna have them. So that's something to think about. But yeah, overall, I really not happy about it at all. But I mean, there's not a damn thing I can do about it. You know, I could request another trainer, but who knows, you know, what that person's gonna be. You know, the small things I hate about this guy could be something that the next trainer does even worse, or does worse in general in other areas, you know. So that's kind of my thoughts on that. You know, a necessary evil. It's just something you gotta suck up and get through. And remember that it's only a short period of time, you know. Depending on how long you want to drive, even if you only want to drive, a couple years, 3 months isn't really anything in the grand scheme of things. You know, me, I'm thinking about, I mean, I'll probably drive the rest of my life just because I think that it's perfect for me. It suits me well. So that's just something to think about. This is just a small drop in the bucket. It's something that everybody has to go through, and you have to put up with, you know, and make the best out of it. Stay positive as much as you can, because you can't control it. You know, don't worry about things that aren't in your control. You know, you focus on you, your goals, and your career. You know, and let whatever else happens, let it go. You know, there's only a small portion of things that you can control out here, especially while you're training. So try to focus on the good and not the bad, and really look like an alien ship, the 3 lights, whatever. Distracted. Yeah, I mean, focus on the positives. Get as much out of it as you can to better yourself and to better your situation. You know, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be tough. But you know, being a trucker in general is tough. You know, it's not an easy career, depending on how you look at it, I guess. So, you know, that's my thoughts on that. As always, ask all the questions, you know. I'll try to at least respond with a comment. And yeah, I mean, you know, like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Here's the row of trucks as we're get out of this dude's way trying to back up. You know, here's the repair bays, whatever. But yeah, that's trucking. So just make it work. You can't control it. And do what you can. So best of luck to y'all. Be safe.